Oh, that's hi. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our draft for season 2 of Big Brother Cincinnati. We have Papa from Ascendance, we have Edmund from the Big Mini, and we have Rachel from Disney. Um, and Jodilly couldn't join us tonight, but we will be drafting and talking about the players of Big Brother Cincinnati season 2. We still do have something to get down to tonight, so watch the BB Cincy page sort of after this is done sometime tonight. I don't want to put a time on it because we have a few things to take care of first, including this draft. So Papa will be hosting it. So I want to pass the floor to Papa.
Hello, everyone. Great to be back. Do another draft. I'm ready to. I don't know if I won last time. I honestly forget the results. I think I did. We're gonna say I did. So, with drafting with me are Edmund and Rachel. Edmund, how are you?
I'm great. I am ready to do another draft and flop in it again. Actually, I think I did pretty good. I think I had like 4 of the final 6, but then literally they all went home back to back to back to back. So that was great.
Rachel, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm here. I'm ready. I love making these kinds of drafts. I did one for Ascendant Season 5. Go check that out. I love just picking people's brains. So I can't wait to like go based off what we've seen so far and to kind of like see what these people are going to bring. So yeah.
Cute. Okay, so let's try and share my screen and hopefully my shit don't kill me. I'm just gonna share this entire screen, I think.
Laker, what can we expect different from season 1 going into season 2 of Big Brother Cincinnati?
So season 1, we focused a lot on the cast. And we had a very diverse cast, which we still do have in season 2. Well, I got the casting set. The one thing people weren't happy about last season, including the players, was the twist. So this season, I went from the basics and I was like, what can I do as a twist for this casino thing? And I think I figured a few things out. We had powers hidden around the house. All 4 powers have already been found.
Oh,
yes. All 4 powers have been found. When we're doing the draft, I'll tell you if you draft a player that has a power. So that's a little reveal as well for the page.
And so everyone has already, their phones have been confiscated. So
their phones are away. Okay, yeah, they just had them. They had them for about 5 minutes to say, "Hey, I'm playing." Follow the page, and they are done. Their phones are back away, and they're ready to play.
All right, streaks.
Can we get a little taste of one of the powers? Don't give it all away. Just a little crumb match.
So, I have 4 powers in the game. I have 4 different keys. Each key has like this key of spades, a key of hearts, a key of diamonds, and a key of clubs. So I have one of each of those hidden around, and they each have different special powers. And they're playing. They're playing right now.
Okay.
We love that.
Well, with that being said, let's jump right in to the action. We randomized in order so I could have the setup and ready to go. We will be doing a snake draft. So Edmund will pick first, and then I will pick, and then Rachel will pick again. I'll pick, Edmund will pick, so on and so forth. So Edmund, why don't you start us off? Who would you like to pick?
So this cast is interesting. I see a lot of familiar faces, and then I see some faces that I don't necessarily know. I did watch everyone's videos, but I think I am going to have to stick to what I do know. Oh my god, am I lagging?
No.
The stream just like froze on my computer, but I'll keep going. I think the first person I'm going to choose is Derek.
Good choice.
And why are you choosing Derek?
Y'all talk on Derek and let me rejoin really quick.
Okay. So I know Derek. I love Derek. He's a good Judy. But I'm going to try and take all of my opinions about the cast from the videos I saw and that first like little entrance, just to not be biased towards players. So I had Derek down as he's here to have a party, which I feel like a lot of this cast said, which makes me a little nervous. He said that he's very personable, and I was surprised to find out it was his first LRG, because I know Derek and these org streets are a little. He could do his big one, so I'm excited to see how he's going to play a live game, because I know it's a big jump, a big difference.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him, but I feel like I've definitely seen him in the org scene. So I'm really interested to see how that's going to translate into this format. And like you said, a lot of people say that they're here for like fun, like a party. And like, I think all those, something in me thinks, and I can get onto this later, but I think all of those big vibes are going to like clash, implode, and something's going to go down. So I'm really hoping that like everybody here, even though like it might be Derek's first live game, that he goes into it strong and plays like he would online and just takes the game by storm. So I have high hopes.
Yeah, I just played an org with Derek. I played Conflict with Derek not too long ago, and he was a big personality in the game. He had a lot of the decisions to be made, and he was one of the biggest threats to win the game, which I won. But he was there, and I hope to see this transpire into this game.
So Edmund said that he's restarting his computer. So I guess Blaker, as we're waiting, since we haven't seen much of the cast action so far, and you've kind of seen a little more than us, is there anyone that's vibing with each other a lot more than other people? Are we seeing groups starting to form? Like, what's the vibe?
Sorry, I had to make sure. I heard noises outside the room. I was making sure no one was trying to listen in. Honestly, right now it's all buddy. I've been seeing a lot of two people talking here and there. A lot of people going outside the vape together. A lot of different, just everyone trying to get to know each other, which is perfect because tonight we are releasing the first HOH competition, and it's going to help them out.
Perfect. Welcome back, Edmund. We're just talking about.
Sorry about that.
If anyone's, if they're going off in duos, if they're big talks, we were just talking about that while we waited for you to come back.
We're not using the word duo.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry, that's a little trauma from season 1.
Triggering.
Partnerships.
Pairs.
Yeah. I did choose Derek because Derek is a good time gal, She's got the chops to win the whole thing. Sorry, I should say he. I just use she as gender inclusive. But he just knows how to have a good time, read the vibe, pick up what some people are putting down. I think Derek's very aware of his surroundings, and so I think Derek will do very well. And I'm not sure who all Derek knows. I mean, I know that Derek and Emily were in Panama City Beach with us a couple years ago. So
Derek and Emily LRP.
Emily P. Sorry.
I think Emily L played Conflict as well, but Derek.
Ooh, nice tea. But yeah, that's why I chose Derek.
So for my pick, let me go back to the big board of everyone. I'm gonna go with someone that I feel really has the passion to win a game, and I feel like with this cast can win this game. I'm going to go with Emily Pidge. I've seen Emily around the LRG streets, and she's been doing her big one lately. I think this is her game. I don't know. The people just seem like her type of vibe. She loves to party. Everyone wants to party. And I think Emily's going to mist everyone into being like, oh my God, shot o'clock, as she's taking shots at them in the game. And it's she's really going to do her big one here. So I really see Emily, I see her as a winner.
Rachel and I did just play a game with Emily where
I'm sure she's so happy to see that I'm not there, because her biggest thing right now is I'm done playing with Rachel. So you're welcome.
She was known for being very well socially connected and kind of playing the middle with both Rachel and I. And it kind of got up to her. So I'm hoping she learned from that and she's able to maintain her position and take over this game, especially with some of the people that she knows.
I was gonna kind of piggyback off what Papa said about these people are her vibe, and like I agree with that. I think that she is not gonna stick out like a sore thumb in this kind of group because all these people kind of like are this like I don't know the same vibe as her, and I think that's gonna help her kind of not float but like slip into the cracks where she needs to in order to advance herself farther but not be looked at as a huge threat. But also like I played Ascendance Unplugged 2 with her, and I really think that she slid like right through everything, won a bunch of comps, but people weren't like, oh my god, Emily, we need to get her out. Like, you know, it was like, oh, we'll take care of her later, and the next thing you know, it was Final Five. So I feel like that's the kind of game that she will play, and I hope that she does because it really works out in her favor lately. So I hope that she does it again.
I will say, so far, every live game that Emily has played, there's been a first impressions, and she's won. So first impressions mean a lot in the game of Big Brother, especially that first week. And her records show that she makes a really good first impression.
For sure.
Love it.
Okay, so Rachel, you get 2 picks, but only pick one person so we can talk about them.
All right. So my first pick is going to be somebody who I like think is very intelligent. I'm trying to figure out the words I want to say. Intelligent in the game, but also socially somebody that everyone wants to be around. I kind of played with this person and I was absolutely blown away. So I'm going to go with Antonio.
Antonio does have a power.
Oh,
Yep.
Your
And
big
does.
one.
Yes. So I've been in contact with Antonio a little bit in this community. We played a game together, and was one of the only few people who like really had my back. So I know that he's loyal, and that's going to take you huge in this Big Brother type of game. Is like you have to have people that are going to keep you safe when you're not in power, and I think Antonio just has that. I just think the vibe is there. I love it. I'm so excited to see him play, and that's my pick.
Yeah, I had Antonio as my next pick, so fuck
Ha.
you. I just got the vibe from Antonio that he is here to play the game, cutthroat, do whatever he needs to win, but like would do it with a smile on his face. And I think a lot of people are gonna gravitate towards him. So solid first round pick.
Yeah, Antonio would have been my next choice as well,
Ha,
I will
fuck
say. So I did meet Antonio briefly once, and you know, it was a very pleasant interaction. So right off the bat, you know that Antonio is going to go off a good first impression. At least to me, he did. He is from Huntsville, so I know he's been partying with Amber as of recent. So going back to the whole party girls of it all, we'll see if Antonio's a party girl with Emily Pitch. And yeah, I think Antonio has the chops to be social and make those connections, but will be strategic and make the moves necessary to win.
I played one game with Antonio, and it was Synergy way back when. It wasn't really a social competition, so didn't get to see much out of Antonio socially. But like every competition he played in.
Yeah.
Okay. So Rachel, you get your second pick.
I'm
Who will that be?
eyeballing. I'm like, I'm gonna go with Emily L. I don't know anything about her whatsoever other than from those videos, obviously. And I think that there's gonna be people in this cast that may be like quote unquote clocked as being quiet. And I don't think she's one of them. But there's also people who are gonna be clocked for being quote unquote loud. So I feel like she's right in the middle. And I don't know. She just gives off such a vibe that like if I was in a game, I would want to work with her too. And I don't know. I don't really know much about her, but that's my gut telling me like I'm gonna pick you.
Yeah, I have no idea who she is. I've never seen her around, and she said this was her first LRG, so I'm excited to see how she is gonna play. I think she played games online or something because she said that normally like she doesn't care to cut throats or whatever, and she wants to play loyal this time. that is not the right call for this cast. It does not seem like this cast. Yeah, they want to buddy party girl it up, but they're all like, "Oh, I'll be shady. I'll do this." And she was like one of the only people to be like, "I want to be loyal no matter what." So I don't see it going well for her.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I feel like she seemed a little hesitant to kind of take charge of even her own opening, confessional to introduce herself. Obviously, there's the preseason jitters and stuff like that, but it was very much the verbiage of like, I'm gonna be loyal. I don't remember if it was her specifically, but I think it might have been her. She said that the win doesn't really matter to her. So I don't know. We'll see if the game turns on and she switches her tune. But she seemed like she'll be a good ally, but I feel like she could get lost in the sauce.
Hey, some people get lost in the sauce and it's just fine. I do think that she's very scared playing the vibes I'm getting from her right now. But seeing Emily play in orgs, if any of that comes out in this LRG, she's going to be a really good contender. She clocked me in a few things in conflict, and I was a very sneaky player in that game, and she clocked me and got out because of that. So she has potential.
Cute. So it's my turn. Yay. I'm surprised this person is still here. Figured she would have been picked earlier. So I'm gonna go with Kanisha. Is that who
I
you're
was
saying?
gonna pick her.
Kanisha, yes, and Kanisha has the power.
Period. She's already doing her big one. So I don't know. I have never seen Kanisha around before. I don't know who she is. But I don't know. From her vibes of like just her little get to know her, she is the type of person that I would want to work with in a game. I don't know. She just seems like the type of person you could spill everything to. And that's the type of person that you want to pick for your draft because everyone's going to spill everything to her. And she's going to have all the information just there, ready to strike whenever she needs. And she has the power. So,
I think she's gonna or I hope that she doesn't tell anybody about her power because if she's gonna, I think if she's going to play that type of give me all the information and let me pull my strings, like I feel like, like you said, she's gonna know stuff, and I hope she knows who else has powers and gets all of that information. I just think that I don't know. I feel like I'm just literally just looking at a photo right now. But I was gonna say she seems like she's smart in like memory comps, stuff like that. She looks like she's somebody who's calculated, but nobody really is gonna be able to tell unless something big happens and But I think if something exploded with all these party girls, she's someone who can just play it cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think Kanisha was my next pick. But I feel like Kanisha didn't seem like she had to be the loudest one in the room, but her personality still spoke volumes even when she was talking. Kind of like what Papa said, I feel like a lot of people are going to come to her with information and things like how Rachel said, if there's any blow-ups or exposing of anything, I feel like people are going to, when they're looking to pivot, they're going to pivot to Kanisha as a number. So I think Kanisha will do well.
So Kanisha hasn't played an LRG before. She hasn't played an org since she was 14 years old. Kanisha is a Cincinnati local who, ironically, one of my IRL friends, Maddie, went to high school with. So that's how I met Kanisha. And Kanisha and I figured out that we had one mutual friend in common, which was Billy Stevens. And that's how I figured out she played orgs. And here we are.
I'm dead.
You learn something new every day, don't you?
You learn something new every day. And I was like, girl, you're playing Cincinnati season 2. Good luck.
Okay, so Edmund, you get 2 picks, but let's start with one so then we can talk about them.
I am going to pick Jarvis. I decided to pick Jarvis because I feel like Jarvis knows what he's doing. He seems like he's going to be likable and people are going to want to work with him. Don't know much about him besides his little intro video, but I got a good vibe that he was there to have fun but still play to win.
Yeah, I feel like with Jarvis, I've never seen him around before, like with the majority of this cast. He seemed like he was a people person, and he's like, I'm not afraid to like make the moves when I need to. There's a lot of talk, so I'm hoping to like that he will also, you know, get active and not just sit there and say he'll make all these moves, but like actually put forth the effort to make all the moves.
I feel like he's going to be a player that people want in their corner. I feel like similar to Kanisha, kind of personality-wise, I think they are going to be both like pretty level-headed players that people are going to want to pull in, just based on the vibes and how other people kind of react to him and how he kind of presented himself in that confessional. I think that, yeah, there's some potential there. I can't even get a read like if he's either going to fly under and just go to the end or he's going to be an early boot. Like I can't even tell at this point. Like it really depends on how he's perceived game wise, not necessarily just like personal wise. And yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see.
I think Blaker is busy, so I will go with my next pick. I have someone I want to pick, but I'm going to save them.
Oh,
even though
Blaker's back. Blaker, you're on mute.
Muted.
Hi, sorry, I just got tea actually, but we'll say that.
Spill.
Okay, let me make sure this door is shut. Alliance has been made.
Okay.
It consists of 2 people that have already been drafted, and they both have powers. Antonio and Kanisha have an alliance.
Oh, okay.
Period.
So we'll see if they spill the tea about their powers soon enough.
They did.
Oh.
Okay.
Already.
I like this. Kanisha's getting that information and she's going to put it in her pocket.
Well, she didn't put that information in her pocket. She gave some away too.
They're both going to do it.
Okay, I think my next pick is... Oof. I'm gonna go with Nathan.
No! That was my next pick.
I chose Nathan because I think Nathan obviously seems very confident that he has the chops to win the game. He was a lot of talk in his interview. I think he was aware that maybe the social part would be a bit hard for him. The word he used was there's a lot of flamboyant people in the cast.
Or he's been about 12 times.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's what he's worried about, which I would assume, but I feel like with the game and how many gamers are here, if he uses the strategy and logic of the game, it will help people get on his side. To where if there's more mutable players in the cast that aren't very vocal about the strategy, I feel like those type of players might struggle with making those connections. So I feel like Nathan might be a little squirmy if he has some trouble in the beginning. But I feel like he's going to be an early fizzle or a long run contender.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like last statement that you made, that he's either going to go first or I see him like going to the end. Like basically, there's no in between. He's either very early or very late. And I don't know. I just think with this cast, since there's like a lot of partiers and he was more kind of laid back, you're not going to have all partiers at the end. And I feel like out of the more laid back people, Nathan seemed like he was the most strategic, most already thinking about what he wants to do. And I don't know. I just feel like he would be my more quiet, reserved pick to win.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that based on how he, like what he said in the diary room thing, he's a very observant person. I feel like he's taking note of all this and taking mental notes, but I feel like that's going to get him caught. Like he's going to be one of those that like just falls victim to circumstance, being like, oh, you're not part of our alliance, we had to get you out, or like something like that. That's just the vibe I'm getting. But like I think, like you guys both said, either early boot or he's going to go on, and by the time that maybe it'll be too late before they try and clock that. But I just think he's going to get, I don't know, I think he's going to get screwed over at some point. That's like a really bold like guess, but I just think that, I don't know, I sense a robbery coming.
Blake, your thoughts on Jarvis and Nathan? Since you didn't
So
get
Jarvis, I had no idea who Jarvis was before this game, and he's been pretty vocal, talking, very social so far, is what I've witnessed. That's all I can really say on Jarvis. I don't know him. I also don't know Nathan, but I did see Jarvis and Nathan actually talking to each other a lot tonight. In the kitchen where everyone else was, but them two specifically standing next to each other, they actually have there's some stuff on there for some stuff out there for like a memory comp, and they were studying it together. So I could see them working together.
And I'm pretty sure Jarvis is from Connecticut, so represent. We love it. We love it.
Okay, it is my time to pick again. Reopens my notes. I kind of have everyone sectioned off into like sections if I want to pick them or not. I have no idea who this person is, so I think I'm gonna pick them. They've played at least one LRG before, I think, based off of like what they said. So I'm gonna pick Nick. I don't know, something about Nick. He seemed like he knows what he wants to do, like coming in. Like he already has a strategy that's kind of like set. He like wants to fix his past mistakes, so he's obviously like coming in knowing what he did wrong last game, and he wants to do better on that. The only thing I worry about with that is when people do that, they like psych themselves out, and I'm just afraid that he's going to do that. But if he could like overcome that, then obviously if he could fix his mistakes, he'll be a winner. So give me the win.
Yeah, I have no idea who Nick is, but that's a huge thing to think about when you're going into a game, is to kind of see like, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, and to play into those strengths, but not let those weaknesses tear you down. And I think the vibe that I get from Nick is that he's going to do that. And I'm hoping at least a jury for him, you know?
Yeah, it's gonna sound shady. Nick just wasn't someone that really jumped out at me when I watched the videos. I think it's good to be aware. Stop laughing at me. I think it's good to be aware of your past mistakes, kind of like what you guys have talked about. I just don't know how Nick might fit into this cast. But we'll see. Maybe Nick will make me bite my tongue.
Like your thoughts on Nick?
Sorry, it's been a really long day. Nick is another one I don't know. Nick seems he's very reserved. He wasn't comfortable sleeping in the same bed with someone at first. Now I think he's more open to it, but he's a quieter person. And I would say that we tend to see the quieter people go out first in LRGs. However, if he is socializing more, maybe we'll see him go far. I don't know. I don't really know him that well.
Interesting to see.
So Rachel, you get your last two picks. Pick the first one and then talk about them.
All right. So I'm happy I get my last two because I've been eyeing these people and I'm excited to just do it and throw it out there. So my first pick is going to be RJ. So I'm picking RJ. I've seen a lot of people be fans of him in the VL and in the streams. And I heard a lot of people said like he like got cut in a game for being too quiet, but I think this is the complete opposite. Based on his first intro, he kind of just threw himself out there, and I think that this cast is going to be somebody. This cast is full of people that are going to want to work with RJ, and if he can like pull out all the stops and just step into that outgoing personality that we saw in those videos, that like that's what we want, and I think it's going to thrive in that.
Yeah. Oh, I deleted my note for RJ because I thought we already talked about him. I have that he's connected. I know RJ knows a ton of these people. I think there's like a big chunk of people that like at least know of each other or have played games before together. So I don't know if that's gonna hurt him or help him, because like I know when you play with RJ, you either love to play with him or you hate playing with him, and I have no idea like what these people think about that. And I know when you piss off RJ, he will pop off, and I think it's a bold pick, but you do get your last 2 picks here. I just think in an LRG, especially Big Brother, when people tend to pop off, they don't get the Angela treatment and get the jury. They go home in the next few rounds. So if RJ keeps his cool and doesn't pop off on people and like, you know, kind of argue back and forth if you want, but just don't go there, I think he'll be a good pick.
I haven't seen RJ in a while. I did play Ascendance with RJ all the way back in 2019. So I did get to experience playing with RJ. I feel like RJ is the type of player to where, especially like how you guys say, if RJ has all these connections, he's going to do great in the beginning. But I think he struggles with maintaining control without putting a target on his back. So I think if he does well with, what's the word? Not damage control, but like minimizing his target for being well known and having these connections, he might do well. Because in Ascendance, he did have a big pre-made, and they all ended up turning on each other. So that might happen here again. We'll see.
Yeah, I think this cast is just so that he's gonna like thrive, you know?
For
Yeah.
sure. Blaker, thoughts on RJ?
So I've played 2 live games with RJ, and the first one, he went out because of his mouth. The second one, he went out because of his mouth. So
It's been a trend here. Okay.
yeah, it's been a trend. It's been a trend. So if RJ can keep his cool, I think he could find himself being very well connected. He is very much a Leo. He's very much an alpha. So he has to be in charge. And I think if he's not in charge, we're going to see him start to emotionally crumble. And that's when the fierce RJ is going to come out and get himself in trouble.
We shall see.
Okay, Rachel, your last pick. Go ahead.
My last pick is going to be Travis. I got you there. I've seen Travis play Synergy with Ozzy, and he did very well. He made it pretty far. I think that Travis has a lot of potential here. He's here to play, and I'm excited. I don't think I've ever had a conversation with him, but I've definitely seen him. So I think that, yeah, Travis is a good pick, and I wanted to save him for last.
Yeah, Travis is very seasoned. He's been around the LRG streets. And I'm surprised he's never gotten a win. I don't know. Like, Travis just has the energy of like a winner. I wanted to pick him just because like he knows the ins and outs of games and like all that stuff. The only thing I'm worried about with him is like just connections, because like he's been around so long. Like I know a lot of these people are new at like LRGs, but I know people that have watched LRGs have seen him around. So I think that's the only thing that could like hurt him. But other than that, I think we're gonna see Travis make it pretty far this season.
Yep.
Yeah, I just want to echo what you guys say. Travis has definitely been around the block. Again, like you said, Matthew, I'm surprised Travis hasn't won, so he definitely has that drive to finally get that win. Travis did used to host his own BB LRG, so you know he definitely knows all of the ins and outs of what it takes to win. And yeah, hopefully he kind of takes a page out of Nick's book and went over what he's done wrong in the past and kind of knows where to course correct to get to the end.
And he will.
Blaker, thoughts on Travis?
I played a game with Travis too, and he is very smart. He's
Does he have
very.
power?
He does not. He's very well spoken. He knows how to communicate towards someone for his advantage. And I could see he's really good at competitions. So if he can, he's pretty well rounded. If he can remain cool, level headed, I've seen Travis do some things in a Survivor game that cost him the game. So as long as he, just like RJ, can keep his cool, I think we'll see Travis go really far.
Who do you think is more likely to explode first, RJ or Travis?
RJ.
Do you think they would like more work together or butt heads?
I could see them working together and butting heads, and I think that those two butt heads, it's down the rabbit hole for both of them.
Oh, girl, World War III if they start fighting.
Because Travis does not stop, and neither does RJ. So, yeah.
I want some fighting.
No, we don't.
This is Daddy Cincinnati.
Daddy
Cincinnati.
Daddy Smith West. No. Okay. I get my last pick, and I'm between two people. I know that there's
Who are they?
No, he's not gonna say. I'm between two people too. I just want to see
I'll
if they
say
say.
it. I get one of them anyways.
Okay.
So I'm between Sean and Stephanie, and
Okay.
I'm between them because I know that they are probably the most connected people, and whether you like to see it or not, connections do help you, whether you like to agree to it or not. So I'm just trying to decide who I think is going to go further. And honestly, I think I am going to pick Sean. Between Sean and Stephanie, I see Sean making it past the first few rounds. Stephanie's track record, she said herself, is not
First three.
the greatest.
Yeah.
So I think Sean has the ability to be liked by everyone. He is the youngest, but I think that's not going to like hinder him at all. I don't know. He just seems like a very social person, and like when he's in power, he's gonna like appease everyone, and then everyone will be like, "Oh, like you didn't put me up. Like we're good for sure." Very like T-core, but then like not have a bad T-core HOH moment.
Yeah, I did like Sean's little intro video. This is Sean's first live game, I believe, right?
Yes.
But Sean does have experience playing org, so we'll see how that translates, because sometimes it doesn't for people. But I feel like Sean won't really have a problem connecting to a few of these people in the cast. I feel like he gives kind of party girl energy.
Yeah, and if not that party girl energy, somebody who will vibe with the people who are party girl energy. So I feel like people will pull him in, and I think, like you said, like, oh, if he didn't put someone up on his HOH, like, you're cool with me, like, you're good. So I think he's going to play a loyal game. But, I mean, it's all totally different in real life, like in person. So I'm interested to see how he integrates himself, you know? Yeah.
Blaker, thoughts on Sean?
Okay, so this is Sean's first game. He does host his own game, and I know that a few people have played his game that are in this cast. Do they like Sean? I know at least one person that's not a huge fan of Sean in the cast, but I know somebody who is friends with Sean in the cast at the same time. But he is the youngest. I will say in my predictions, I do have him going out first. But I could be wrong. Sean could surprise us and do really well. He can be socially connected. He does have the potential for it.
Okay.
So we still have not found this fourth player with the power. So hopefully I choose them. But I think there's only one choice here that I have to pick, and that is Mother Amanda.
All right,
Because
before we get into Amanda, the other two that were not picked, AJ and Stephanie, they will be going to the first and the second evicted person, like whoever has the first and second evictee on their team. And Amanda does not have power. So either AJ, there's two powers that have not been claimed. Either AJ or Stephanie have one. Or
Oh, interesting.
Wait, they do
wait,
have
so
that?
if there's two not claimed,
Either
then
there's
don't they
two
both
more
have
pow-
them? Or
they
one
both
has
could have
both?
them, or one could have two.
Girl, Stephanie got both.
Oh.
Stephanie beat.
Yeah,
Look, 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 look.
What even play?
After we talk, I'll expose after we talk to Amanda.
Yeah, let's talk about
Okay.
that.
Okay. Amanda. I chose Amanda because I think Amanda is giving Angela energy.
Mhm.
I think but she's never played before, but she has 5 kids. I remember that. I just
Yep.
remember a lot about Amanda's intro. So it stuck with me.
Did.
I don't know how well she's going to do since she is not super experienced, but I hope that people want to work with her.
Yeah, I was very back and forth on Amanda because I was like, oh, like she has the story, like everyone's gonna love her, like they're gonna want to work with her. Then I'm also like, Amanda said that she probably won't win, and if you're in your intro saying you're probably not gonna win, that's not someone I want on my team. But kudos, Mama, for spilling. And yeah, no, I hope that she does well. I don't know. She's someone that I want to root for.
She does give Angela vibes, and I love it. And maybe like she'll have that sort of, oh, she's very in your face early on, but then is able to make the connections, and people are going to want to keep her around. So I really think that she was so funny. She was like, I'm 22 and I have 5 kids. Like, that's hilarious. So go off. I think she's gonna be really likable. Don't know how she would end up doing in competitions, but I'm curious to see. And if she aligns herself with the right people, I think that she'll have people to protect her, and definitely would at least make jury. That's my thoughts.
I'm hoping Amanda feeds into the chaos and just opens the floodgates to being her true self. Not that she wasn't being her true self in her opening confessional, but it's your first time. You kind of put on an act for the camera. I want to see real Amanda.
Thoughts on Amanda?
Yeah. So Amanda, she actually reached out to me, and I had no idea who she was. And I was like, yeah, I need an alternate. Like, you're on the cast. And then our Airbnb got canceled because they were like, no, you live too close to Cincinnati to do an Airbnb. I was like, whatever. And she was like, oh, we'll just do it at my house. So like, she wanted to have this whole thing at her house, and she was like, you all can come the night before and we'll have a party. Like, we're gonna have like a pregame party. And I went over that night, and it was so much fun with Amanda. And she's a vibe. She is a vibe, and I think that she's going to get along with these house guests so well. She said she was usually the youngest in her friend groups, and now she's one of the older house guests. So I want to see how that's going to play a role with her usually acting the younger role. Well, I think that's going to do her really well now that she's the older one in the cast, and I think she's going to. I really do think she's going to go far in this game.
Period. Love it.
Cute. So here are the team standings before we get into the other two. Edmund has Derek, Jarvis, Nathan, and Amanda. I have Emily P, Kanisha, Nick, and Sean. And Rachel has Antonio, Emily L, RJ, and Travis. So
Before we talk about the other two, Blaker, who do you think has the strongest team based on first impression?
Who do
Yeah.
I think has the strongest team? I'm going to go with. Oh wow, they're honestly all really good. I think there's definitely a money player for each team. But I'm going to go with Edmund.
Period.
I'm going to go with Edmund. I think that if Nathan does play really well, like you all said, it's either going to be a first boot or like early boot, or he's going to make it to the end. I think that if he makes it to the end, Edmund has a really good lineup of players. That's not to say that Papa and Rachel don't, because all three of these teams, I don't know how everyone's like, oh, that was my next pick. That was my next pick. Every single pick. So, I mean, all these these teams are really good. But yes, Edmund.
Well, I hope Edmund loses.
Yeah, right.
Because
Again.
I should have the best team.
Again. Yeah.
Again.
Now,
Okay.
before we,
Oh.
AJ has 2.
I was gonna guess
Oh.
that. AJ seems like a little sneak. And I feel like AJ has a more, from his opening confessional, seems to have a more of a mutable, chill energy. To where I feel like with these flamboyant personalities, he will be able to kind of be the level-headed one that people look towards. But I also do have a question. AJ is from Huntsville. Do AJ and Antonio know each other?
They do.
For sure. They're like
They were a duo together in Synergy season 1.
Gotcha.
And this is both of their second games. They did not know each other were playing until yesterday. I went ahead and said, hey, you're all both driving up. You're driving up the same day. Both of you will be here. Just drive up together. Don't waste the gas. So they figured out yesterday. And they were both very shocked in the chat when they figured out. So I don't think they told each other they were playing.
Give them
Genuinely.
the Oscar.
Come on, NDA.
They did not sign no NDA. I told them, I honestly straight up told them, I said, this is all like a fun thing for me. I don't care. Like, Emily Pitch was like, Jackson knows I'm here. I was like, Jackson's not playing. I don't care if Jackson knows you're here.
LOL.
So I'm actually shocked to hear that AJ has the 2 powers over Stephanie.
Yeah.
Because like I watched Stephanie play Unplugged, but we'll get into that. So I don't know. The only reason I didn't pick AJ was I think AJ and Antonio are gonna get clocked for being like friends, like really good friends. So I was like between one of the 2 of them. And I don't know. I think Antonio for me is going to go further than AJ, but now AJ having power so early on, maybe that could flip the coin. I just like how AJ said that he was adaptable and he'll do whatever he wants to win, or like whatever he needs to do to win. I just, with this cast, don't know how well he will do, and that was like the only reason I didn't pick him.
I feel like AJ doesn't need to bark, he just bites. And he was probably
Biting.
taking the little smoke breaks to go look for some powers, because I did see him holding a lighter in his opening confessional. So, I'm sure he was taking his little smoke break to sneak away and go look for a few little things, and he found them.
I think maybe AJ will tell Antonio about his powers, and Antonio is going to tell Kanisha about the powers, and then that's going to be a thing.
And Rachel's just dying on this hill that Kanisha knows going to know everything about the season.
And
No, I
it
lied.
ain't even her draft pick, it's my draft pick.
I was thinking about it too much, and then you picked her. I'm like, fuck. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about AJ. Like you guys said, like being close to Antonio, I think Antonio's gonna just be able to mellow down and like be more like in with other people. That whereas like AJ, I feel like might just gravitate towards a certain group, and then if that group's not in power, like he's just gonna get screwed over like that. But I think Antonio's gonna be able to like maneuver more. But having 2 powers is kind of crazy. I hope that he doesn't get clocked for it. And it's one thing to have a power, it's another thing to have 2. So
Yeah.
And then finally we have Stephanie. I said earlier I was between Sean and Stephanie. I think the only thing that stopped me from picking Stephanie over Sean was she has said it herself, not made it far at all, every game within the first 3 boots. And she was already talking about her strategy to win the whole game from A to B to C to D. Every plan she had, she knew what she wanted to do. And you cannot go into games, especially Big Brother, being like, I want to do this, and then this, and then this, and then this. It's just not going to work. So I really hope she does well. I really need to see Stephanie, go far in a game, do her big one. But yeah.
I have seen Stephanie play both online and in person, and let me say, two completely different players. She is this crazy mastermind genius sometimes in these orgs, but I feel like that doesn't necessarily always work in live games, because I do remember in Unplugged 1 I played with her, she was already like out looking for stuff, planting seeds, and like you can get away with that type of stuff online, but in person it's like it's going to get out there and someone's going to think suspicious. So I'm hoping Stephanie can kind of learn from those past things. I think she's more than capable of it. So I'm hoping that, and I think like everyone kind of said, party girl, putting yourself out there, like being vocal is going to help her. But yeah, I'm surprised that she doesn't have any powers. So I'm interested to see how she takes this game by storm and redeems herself. And
there are more ways to win powers. There are way more ways to win powers in this game.
Oh.
And I want to see all of her outfits.
So it does sound like it's going to
she's very upset she cannot wear her heels inside.
Well, I was going to say about Stephanie, I have seen her around. I have seen her track record. So I was a little worried about that. She is trying to go for the best dress superlative, but I think Emily is going to make sure that she does not win that. Because, Emily came with 5 different outfits for each day.
Girl, her suitcase
Emily went shopping today. Yes. It was. In fact, they called it chunky at the airport.
Oh!
She had to check her carry-on bag because her luggage was too chunky.
Oh my god.
I gotta go.
So we'll see who ends up winning best dress, but yeah, so hopefully Stephanie can get a little further than she usually does.
Yeah. Stephanie, I've played one LRG with Stephanie, which was unplugged, and like McKenna said, and everybody went out that first night except for Tim and Stephanie, and we were very worried that Stephanie had an advantage. Tim ended up having it, but Stephanie, she was looking. We all saw her looking.
Made us
she was causing.
She
really made us think she had the power, and that scared us, and it was her downfall. So hopefully we don't see that, where she's trying to convince people she does have this power. But I would love to see her get farther than third boot, and I do have her predicted to get farther than third boot.
Okay, well, speaking of predictions, let's start with Blaker, since you have this whole list. Who's your winner pick right now after the first shenanigans?
So, last season, what I did for my winner pick is I have a production draft with the production team, and I also did a brand steel simulator just to see who brand steel would say would win. And Kathleen won a brand steel. I had Kathleen on my draft pick. This season, my brand steel winner was Kanisha. So I am going to go with Kanisha as the winner pick.
Edmund, who is your winner pick? Let's throw the question back at you.
Can I see the graphic again?
Oh, let me pull her back up.
Kanisha's up there for sure. I see this game going 2 different ways. If it goes the way I'm thinking, I want to pick probably Antonio.
Look, that's what I was
as my
gonna
winner
say,
pick.
bro.
You can still pick the same winner pick, girl.
You can still pick the same one.
Okay.
This is the draft. We already did the draft.
Yeah.
Rachel, are you picking Antonio as well?
I'm picking Antonio, but Travis is a close second. Very close second. I feel like they're like this. One above the other like that. Edmund, speak your piece. Why do you think Antonio?
Oh, well, I think we already touched on Antonio, but I think Antonio and Kanisha already talked about having an alliance, sharing their powers. AJ's there, obviously, who has the other two powers. So Antonio's already going to have a good amount of information. So it's just about if Antonio can handle that information well and not let it blow back on him and his allies.
Mhm.
And then I think for me, my winner pick, I'm gonna say Nathan. I don't know. There's just something about Nathan that I
You love you a white man.
Yeah. White man.
I don't know. Nathan just seems cool, calm, and collected, and I think in the chaos of all the party girls, he will thrive. It's him or Nick. It's one of the two of them. But I'm gonna say Nathan.
Yeah, I think if Nathan can navigate the chaos and use the chaos to get others to turn on each other, it'll be easy for him to slide by.
Hopefully he doesn't get screwed over.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty, well, make sure you guys tune in to BB Cincy this weekend. Down below, there is a Facebook group
Subscribe, follow.
/ page. Make sure you guys follow the live streams to see
Join the
who
BL
takes
if you
home
haven't.
the win.
Yes. So we're gonna stall until Blaker comes back to see if he has any final words. So Rachel, I know that.
Oh, he's back. Good. I'm scared
we
what
could
you're
give
gonna
him
ask.
one moment, and that is okay.
Okay.
He's getting
well.
some more tea before we wrap up.
Exactly. So Rachel, I know that you followed along very intensely last season, along with me, because we were keeping it up the whole time. What competitions do you hope come back from last season?
Some of the puzzles, honestly, like I forget what exactly it was, but it was like you had to move it was like a flat thing and they had like little pieces. I remember that one. I remember there was one with dice. Those are the ones that come to my mind, but like I hope there's more cool, creative, like physical puzzles.
Yes. My personal favorite was the one where they were outside and they had the like thing attached to them and they had to like scoop up the rings off the poles. It was like the jousting in Big Brother, like where they were like on their thing and like Michael won it. It was very, very cute, very creative. Never seen it before in a game. So I just want to see more creative comps that we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Edmund, is there anything that you're hoping happens with this cast? Any big fights? Any drama? Blindsides? Tucker using the veto on Angela to use?
Nathan using the veto on Amanda. Yeah.
That.
I think Big Brother is always good when there's a fluid house. So I'm hoping that power shifts happen. We hate to see a steamroll, even as great strategically as it is. But I'm hoping that with these flamboyant personalities that they bring a lot of chaos and drama. But obviously, like good game drama. We don't need no headache for Blaker and them.
Exactly.
I just thought of another comp that I really liked. It's really random, but I've never seen it done in LRG. The one where they were sitting on the ground and they had their feet up and they were holding the thing.
You just gave free feet pics, girl.
Wow.
For
You know that one?
free.
Where they put their feet up and they were holding a block?
They do that in some games, but yeah, no, I do like that comp.
I like that one. I want to do that one.
So I guess let's make some predictions while we wait. So let's say that the jury starts at the final 9. Since there's 14 people, I don't think the jury's going to start at 11. Who do we think is going to be pre-jurors this season? And I can pull up the graphic again.
Nathan.
Here, let me just add everyone back onto this one so we can see the whole cast in its entirety again. I'm gonna have to move AJ and Stephanie back to their places.
Maybe Sean. Maybe AJ. I don't know.
I think AJ will be fine for a while because of the powers, and if Antonio is already creating capital, I think he'll be fine for a bit, as long as he doesn't take too many smoke breaks. Emily L, I will say, that's someone I feel like might get pre-jury.
Okay. I am going to make a post on the Facebook page. Something did happen that I do want to address on the page. Everyone is okay. But I do want to address something. So I'm going to go ahead and say my piece and hop off. Look out for a page or a post on the page. But yes, thank you for coming to this draft again, you three. No Jodilly this time, but that's fine. And I look forward to see the first HOH competition, how that's going to turn out.
Thanks for having us. This
Yes,
was fun.
thanks
Yeah.
for having us.
Yes.
Good
Good
luck
night,
with
everyone.
everything.
Good night, everybody.
Make sure you tune in.
Yes, all weekend.